Hi there, beautiful soul. In this video I'd like to talk about the so-called 80% recoveries. At least that's what people perceive to be a 70 or 80% recovery. Now many people, they were in what I call the pit before, a really negative place with severe symptoms, and then suddenly there is something that they can do. Let's call it a protocol. And as long as you follow that protocol, you're safe. So what that does is that in long term, it dials down the fear. And it doesn't really matter what it is, because a lot of things can dial down the fear. Sometimes it's just basically anything that you can do, as long as you have got some form of safety and calmness, and that brings you back in the present moment, in the here and now, in your body, and that calms you down. So there are courses that are basically teaching how to become this 70 or 80% recovery thing, what people perceive to be 70 or 80% recovered. But what they're actually doing is that they bring back from all the phases of recovery, bring back to what I call the first stage, being symptomatic. So there are symptoms, but they're not really severe, and it might sometimes seem as if you're normal. You can get through the day, you can maybe sleep, and you still can't do lots of things, but you're feeling some sort of okay. It's important to know that it doesn't really matter what you're doing, and that people will get sort of what I call a relapse over and over again. And every time they'll learn that it's easier to get to that previous state, what they perceive to be 70 or 80% recovered. So it gets easier and easier. And if we really know what works and what doesn't, because sometimes the protocol does not work, but it works despite that it's not working, then you can make it easier and easier and simpler. And eventually you can reach that 80 or 70% recovery in, let's say, 3 days or 1 day. You can dial down the fear and calm down really, really fast. And of course, sometimes when something happens, when you wake up, because usually symptoms come at night when you're calm because you're relaxed, and then the stress can come up, the brain perceives it as a danger, and you wake up with all kinds of horrible feelings, and you might think, what did I do wrong? Nothing. You didn't do anything wrong. I think that it's a privilege to be healing in such a way that that you have the time, that stress can come up and that you're dealing with it, but it doesn't have to take that long. So that's what I teach in the Alignment Recovery program. And also, because I get it, when you get like to a point of 70 or 80% recovery, you want to help others. And this works for me. So someone comes with this protocol, and then someone else mentions this, and then this, and then there are hundreds of things. But in the end, they all work in the same way, because it calms you down, and it dials down the fear. It gives you a sense of control. And you feel like you're actually doing something that is good. So you're not wasting your time. Maybe you have a sense of hope. All kinds of things, all kinds of things can help, but they're somehow a little bit different. So if this helps you and you want to know more, because after this so-called 70 or 80% recovery, which I think is just back at where you started when you developed a chronic disease, that's where the real healing work starts. That's where you can learn a lot of stuff and learn a lot about your psyche. So don't stay stuck in repeating the old tools over and over again, but continue to the next level by releasing the stress that is underneath everything. Behind every symptom or every lack of energy or the perception of fear or whatever. And that's what I do in the Alignment Recovery program. So I hope to see you there. And I wish you a beautiful day. Bye.